we went through this stage, and it was kind of in the 90s and maybe like the early aughts, where we pretended that our cycles didn't do anything because we were trying to become men. So we're like, how dare you say I'm more emotional? How dare you say that I behave different? How, like, because people would make the joke, you know, we can't have a woman president because if she's on her period, she's going to hit the war button, right? Which is ridiculous. Like, that's a ridiculous thing to say. However, we kind of jumped to the complete opposite side, and we were like, oh, it doesn't do anything. It's not this real, there's no real effect. I just bleed and that's it. There's no other consequences of that, right? And then that's not honest. And then we became so disconnected with our body and our cycle, our minds, our hormones, and then our health suffers for it. You kind of need to know how your body works. And we would always have these older women that would teach us about our bodies. Now it's, you have a mom or an aunt or sometimes a babysitter that's like, oh, here's a pad, here's a tampon, here's a paper template to figure out how to put it in. That's it. And then they put you on a birth control pill. I was on a birth control pill and I wasn't even having sex. Yeah. From 13 until my mid-20s, like maybe 24-ish. That's a freaking long time. Yeah. And half of the ones I was on got pulled because people were getting cancer. And I'm like, wait, I didn't even know that was a possibility. Or strokes. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, that's not conscious consent. Conscious consent is you give me the benefits, you give me the risks, and you give me an alternative.
And you don't make a 13-year-old pick it.
Right.
It's just like, no.
This will make your skin glow.
Oh, I'm sure. That's what I swear to you, that is like this will help you with your acne. It's like, no, you know what will help with their acne is balancing their hormones. Their hormones are changing. They need more support than they needed the first, 12 or whatever years before they had their period. Now they need more support in different foods to support them turning into a woman. And our lazy ass culture, instead of understanding and embracing it and supporting, like, here's a pill. What? No, not here's a pill. And your skin is telling you something. If your skin's breaking out, it's telling you something. Mm-hmm. Stop and listen. Don't throw the kid on whatever, because usually it's not that doesn't solve it, right? We're masking and we're not embracing the magic of who we are as individuals. It's just easier to put somebody on a pill.
Right. And then we don't believe that food can do anything. And what's really interesting, so they have the Hippocratic Oath, right? So I'm going to mess up his name, but the guy that basically came up with the Hippocratic Oath, it was like Hippocrates or something. It's a some Greek dude, right? Mm-hmm. So he comes up with the Hippocratic Oath, and the part of his ideology was let thy food be thy medicine. So the dude that helped, pioneer medicine didn't discount the magic and the healing of food and what we put into our body. And we see that, right? We see that.
Is it even magic? It's logical. It's like, what do you think your body is recreating itself with? The nutrients you put inside of it. That's the only thing it can use. Yeah. Just like any other animal.
Well, not only are we not eating the healthy foods, right? We're taking these medicines that we don't necessarily know what they're doing. And then we're eating all of this processed junk. And then we're wondering, like, why are my hormones going crazy? Why is my skin going crazy? Yeah. Why do I feel like my brain is working against me, right? You get like all of this depression that can start coming in because you're not supposed to just be at one hormone level forever, right? Yeah. I'm pretty, obviously do what you want with your medication. I am not a doctor, but I would say look into birth control before you go on to it.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. And look into, I took it like you. I was on birth control before I was married. So I think I started it at 15 because I had horrible periods. And I'm like, oh, those horrible periods were telling me something, that I was basically, from my point of view, malnourished. And I didn't understand it. And I was working myself too hard. And when I look back, I'm like, oh, I can see why my body was behaving that way. But no one took the time to really find out I would just throw her on birth control. She won't have 9-day periods anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, I probably could have fixed that another way. Because now my periods are 4 days. And it's just like, yes. So really pay attention to any type of medicine you're taking. It takes a lot for me to think that any of them are worth anything. Mm-hmm. Because so often it's like, oh, just take this. And I'm like, did you look at the side effects of it? Mm-hmm. And you think that you have to be so in tune with your body to realize the side effects on you. Mm-hmm. But we have to. We're our own advocates. And science is fun and science is cool and it's saved a lot of people and I'm grateful for it. But I think that you need to use it very sparingly,
Right. You only don't go straight for the sledgehammer.
Yeah.